I gotta eat. Up late, bills due, rent due, I ain't been asleep. Looking in the mirror, all I see is everything that I wanted to be. My city depended on me, that's on G.O.D. Grew up watching my mom become what daddy couldn't be. I ball like MLB, these both.
Oh, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They run again on first down. Cook, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Bills, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On play action, Allen. There's the former Viking, Stephon Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Allen. He'll air this one deep for Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Brian Asamoah making the play defensively, meeting him behind the line for a loss.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground. Ballage again. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
After the sack on first down, Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And some room to run now. And they work this out past the 25. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Cousins now. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. Extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
A draw play now. Balaj. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 26. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. On play action, Allen. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Listen to me. Gun. Yellow, yellow, yellow. First. Hey, receiver. Hey, can't.
Now Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with a 10-0 lead, you figure they won't try to do anything foolish here. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off play action. Allen. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Allen off the play fake. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They match protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. Balaj will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Nwogu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Throwing, Cousins. And complete, right side to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
We're in the third quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Again, it's Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 44-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. Cook up the gut. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 29-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. A first down throw for Cousins. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some movement.
And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Fielded at the 33. The ball comes out. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down. Now Allen. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out?
Now Cook hit and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football. Just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Kalen Ballage with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills sure look like they're going to be moving to 8-1 as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
And what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Ballage. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Allen going to throw. That ball complete to Isabella. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, and Diggs has it.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Allen. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when coaches come into a game, and now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And he'll just get rid of it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Back to throw here. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
They run it with Ballage. And he'll get this up to about the 40. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did